takes a minute. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. Do you want to go ahead and tell me what's your title and sort of what that means?
Well, at Noregon, I am a process improvement coordinator, and that means that the process team, I'm part of the team, we get together and at a very high level interview people and work with process groups that are basically business units and the champions of those business units to listen, learn, ask a lot of questions, and document business processes in that particular business unit, and also how that business unit works with the handoff either before they do something or after they do something, and look for gaps and ways to document and train and educate people on the flow of how to do something from soup to nuts.
Okay, so when things were a little bit more normal than they are now, your typical day would be meetings, that sort of thing?
A typical day in process. Yes, we had a lot of meetings.
You can define a typical day.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of, for me, a lot of reading so I can learn part of process depending on how high level you go down to more procedural. Sometimes I like to learn and I like to do research. So for example, if I'm working in a process, maybe for the engineers or the sales team, I might have to do a little research to understand the jargon or what they're doing, learn about our products. If it has to do with, a process working with even marketing, like how our Amazon store works and documenting how we manage that. If I'm not familiar with how Amazon works and what you're doing behind the scenes, and I've interviewed you, I also like to read and learn so I can contextually put things in a package so that if somebody has to come behind you and do it, that it makes sense at the level it needs to be.
Sure. So, who are you staying at home with? Who do you have with you most of the time?
I have my 15-year-old son who is a huge golfer, and he golfs and goes to the range, which is one of the last things you can do. It's very social distancing. He's extremely respectful of the work that I do here, and I really appreciate when I tell him I'm getting on a call or whatever. He's very good about being quiet because he does like when he's not golfing, he likes to game with his friends and they get a little worked up and excited. So,
sure. So how are you keeping connected with coworkers and friends and family that aren't, that you aren't able to see anymore?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. We do talk or at least do a Zoom meeting once a day for work. Text a lot of friends, talk to a lot of friends in the evening, try to walk once or twice a day, either at lunchtime or after work with friends on different sides of the street.
Yeah.
I'm very active in my faith community, and we have game nights through, it's called Jackbox TV. So tonight is the adult game night. So it's just the adult volunteers. We're going to get together and do Jackbox for about an hour and a half. And I've really had a good time. It really, it's a lot of fun. We have a good time, a lot of laughs, a lot of silliness.
That's great. How did you guys handle Easter?
Well, it was quiet. I saw my parents briefly. They brought me a plant, but they didn't come in the house. They wore their masks. So saw them briefly. Gave my son a basket. I asked him, I guess you're too old to do Easter egg hunts now. And he kind of gave me this look like, yeah, Mom, I am. But he did take the candy, right?
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, it was quiet. It wasn't the usual, but that's okay. This too shall pass.
Absolutely, absolutely. So how long have you been with Noregon now?
3.5 years.
Okay. So in that time, what's your favorite Noregon memory?
I don't know if there's one memory, but Todd, the other process person, and a few other people who were in sales at the time, we shared an office for a while, and there was never a dull moment. There was constant joking, constant laughter, and just sort of people picking on each other, just having a good time. And
yeah, it's that camaraderie at the office that I look forward to getting back to soon.
Yes, I completely miss it. It's just not the same. I can work at home and I'm functioning and I am staying busy. However, I know myself, I'm a pack animal and I prefer to be around people. So I do miss going in and seeing people and, talking over a cube or going to meetings and seeing people in the break room. So
What do you feel like coming from this will be a positive change work-wise or personal-wise, as far as the way things are done, or just some some things that have come from this that may carry over?
I think giving ourselves and each other grace with how we work and the expectations, not that we should never strive for excellence. However, some people get to excellence and have a different standard of excellence. And for me, I have to, revisit sometimes the expectations, where should the bar be depending on the circumstance or the context of people and where they are. And so giving myself and people more grace and just be a little bit more patient.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this is not salary wise, because I'm sure we could all pick somebody who we just pick the top person if we pick salary wise, but who in the company would you want to switch jobs with for the day if you could switch jobs with one person?
Well, as a writer and a people-focused person, I would love to do something with marketing, because I'm a big user experience person, and I'm a big think about the user, the reader, the end person, the audience. Yeah, probably something in marketing or even something in a user experience line, where we're thinking about all these great things and all these solutions and how our tools and products work, and getting on the other side and saying, okay, we've done this really, really great thing, but what is the perception of when users use it? And I was a technical writer for many years, and I've done some tech writing in my current role. So I'm constantly thinking about the perspective of, at the end of the day, is what we're doing meeting people's needs? So yeah, probably marketing and just getting that message out there. I love messaging. I love to try to minimize headaches, hassles, and hurt feelings with language. And so that's what I like to do.
I mean, I'm biased, obviously, but I think that's a great choice. Some fun questions just to let people sort of get to know you. What's your favorite movie?
I'm not a big movie goer. And probably the movies I like were probably from the 90s. And so a movie that's not really popular, but I always liked Michael Douglas. It was called Shining Through, with Melanie Griffith and about back in World War II in Nazi Germany. And at the end, I don't want to do a spoiler in case anybody watch it, but he's so sweet to his wife, and he carries her over enemy lines, and they're shooting at him, and he's carrying her because she's bleeding and she can't walk, and he's carrying her over those enemy lines, and they're pelleting him. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at him, he's carrying her over enemy lines, he loves her so much. And that is just a cool movie. And if you like Michael Douglas, it's hard not to like that. But that was a great movie. I like World War II stuff. So
fair enough. Do you have any vacations planned for, when you're able to take a vacation again?
I did last week. Ben and I were going to go golfing down in Myrtle Beach. I got a really good deal. And so I had to cancel that about 2 weeks ago. So right now I am taking it one day at a time. And when things lift and start to get somewhat back to normal, or at least we can travel, I'll think about it then.
There you go. Perfect. So my last question is, what are you most looking forward to when this is all over?
Getting out and being able to touch people and hug people and just hang out with people. I've hung out on people's decks and they on mine and things like that. But, for them to actually come through the house or go out to the deck instead of go around through a fence for us to get together, and they feel bad about coming in to use the bathroom and get a drink. I mean, that's kind of, the mentality we have is it safe to come in your home? Is it safe to go in someone else's home? So I think that's what I'm looking forward to, is just that normalcy of connection and being close to people and, shaking a hand or giving them a hug or whatever.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just the simplest things that you miss,
Yep, absolutely.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to
Sure.
talk with me. It's nice to have an excuse to get actual dressed for a little while.
Are you implying that the fuzzies, all that wasn't working in the stain last week I had?
Listen, I approve of it, but I'm just saying it's nice to have a reason to, change out of the pajamas. And me too.
Well, I told them last week that I was in a like a hoodie sweatshirt thing, and I think it was right before I was going to talk to you about something. And I looked down and I had yogurt here and some peanut butter here and a third unidentifiable stain.
Oof.
And because I don't have pets or small children, I couldn't, blame them. So I'm thinking it's about time to change.
Thank you again. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Sure. Take care, Allie.
Thanks.
Bye.